Today's collectible spots, we are having a look at the Square Enix products, PlayArt's Kai Marvel Universe Iron Man. The variant PlayArt's Kai release of Iron Man was designed by Hitoshi Kondo and is recommended for ages 15 and up. Kind of gives you an idea on the front of the box what the figure is going to look like when we get this ultimately out of packaging. Spin around the side of the box. You've got Marvel Universe variant PlayArt's Kai action figure designed by Hitoshi Kondo, and then Iron Man down below that. The back of the package features the very familiar different poses that you can get the figures in, something that you usually see on the packaging from PlayArt's Kai releases. And finally, on the inside of the box, not only do you see the Iron Man and his different multitudes of different accessories and interchangeable hands and whatnot, but you also have a read-up on this side. Now, Spot actually had just done the Spider-Man, and I read this top part right here, not really reading the Spider-Man end of it. Let's read actually the Iron Man component of the packaging. It says, "I am Iron Man, alias Tony Stark, engineering genius, scientific virtuoso, world-class entrepreneur. In short, paragon of the modern Renaissance man, not to mention my incredible humility. I'm just multifaceted that way. Multifaceted that way." I don't know why Spot had to struggle so much with that. Once left for dead on a war-torn country, Anthony Edward Stark devised a means of survival that birthed a new superhero that would forever be known as Iron Man. World-renowned for his ability to create the most advanced armor on the planet, Mr. Stark's latest model is no different. This Iron Man suit is prepared for anything, whether it's infiltrating enemy bases or crashing black tie galas. Through sleek, swift, and silent in its movements, Iron Man pulls no punches when it comes to his signature firepower. Integrating the latest in covert technology, this armor is nigh undetectable by any monitoring system. However, when it comes to time for combat, this suit packs a wallop, deploying waves of EXEs, or electrical and explosive missiles, or utilizing variant repulsor technology for laser-honed, extremely damaging blasts. Combining superior Stark Industries tech with an elegant stealth twist, why don't we call this one Iron Man Mark Shinobi? Spot's going to take himself a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Marvel Universe variants PlayArt's Kai Iron Man, codenamed Shinobi. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Just before we have a look at Iron Man, here's the display stand that comes included with the figure. Yes, it's the same style of display stand that we've seen with all the other PlayArt's Kai releases. This has the adjustable neck. You can adjust this to the back section. And there's an adjustable up and down motion on the actual neck portion, and adjustable waist. You probably will see that the waist is a little on the loose side. I just haven't tightened it. There's a little nut underneath there, and a screw that you just have to tighten to the top. If you collect any of these, you'll probably find yourself tightening these on a regular basis. The ones that I have on display now, I'm always constantly adjusting the neck because this little screw point, as you can see, gets really loose really fast. I hope maybe as an alternative down the road, the folks over at Square Enix can look at perhaps maybe switching out the display stands for something a little bit more updated. Let's put that to the side. Alright, so let's have a look at Iron Man Shinobi. He actually comes with a ton of different things. We'll kind of go through those first. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the figure first, then we'll run down all the accessories that he comes included with. Now, we've just had a look at the Spider-Man. Spot just did the review of the variant PlayArt's Kai release of Spider-Man, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Maybe not right now, but go check it out afterwards. It is a more jarring interpretation of Spider-Man. Iron Man here, on the other hand, comes across different in color, but a more acceptable design. Just being that this could be perceived as a possible design that you could see Tony Stark creating. The colors are, well, first you have the introduction of black, which is not a very common Iron Man color until you start getting into the realm of the stealths or some of the more obscure armors. A traditional red and gold is still present here, but now you have a lot of black taking up the mantle of the primary color shown here on the figure. The coloring of black also carries over to the back here. I love the choice of red that they went with as well. It's almost like a cranberry metallic red, and then of course you've got the gold accents here in between the areas of the thighs, the back spine section of the armor, and more importantly, the area of his face. Let's have a look at his face, or in this case, let's look at the plate that is on his mask. Now, the mask comes across to me a little shorter, like it doesn't seem as long as you would traditionally see it. Generally, too, and that's not with every of the Iron Man armors, but generally when you see the plate runs all the way down to the chin. You know, this is a case where you've got the actual faceplate outlined in black, and then the majority of the helmet is black until you get around to the back with the red. I do quite like the coloring, I might add. The coloring on this Iron Man is different, but I think it's a much more accepting difference rather than perhaps the more jarring, again, Spider-Man that we looked at before. So when he comes with, well, he comes with a ton of different things. Like I said, we'll kind of go through these things together. For starters, he comes with a pair of back flaps. Now the flaps here are hinged. They do have an adjustable a portion to them where you can hinge the wings back and forth. And what you want to do is you want to flip the figure around. Now, I did this with the figure that I had on display because these portions and the portions on the legs are so difficult to remove. It takes like a screwdriver to kind of loosen them up. So I've actually gone ahead, and they're traditionally not usually sticking out this much on the back or on the legs. I just have wedged it out just a little bit so I can kind of get my finger in there. But what you want to do is you want to just take these off. You can see that they're pegged, and they're actually a softer rubber, which is good because if you're prying them off, you don't have to worry that they're going to break, but they're a little bit more difficult because there's a lot of give to them when you're trying to get your fingers in there. There's really very little gappage or very little areas where you can get your finger in there to pop the plate off. Once these are off, then you can go ahead and find the corresponding. I suppose it really doesn't matter which way you have it, but if you put the figure down for a second, or I put the figure down for a second, get him to stand. There we go. You know what? We'll just lay him down for a second. If you look at the one that was there, and then you look at the one that you're going to be replacing it with, you can kind of see how the wing would likely go out this way rather than inward. So keeping that in mind, you can go ahead and then take the plugs, clip those into place. And now you've got yourself adjustable little back ports, little back wings for Iron Man. Decked out nicely, and there's a little bit of silver that's broken it up, and I flip it hopefully on the inside you can see it. So additional silver that they've added to it, that it's not just solely black. Displaying wise, I usually will display Iron Man with these little extra flaps because it gives a little extra personality. I mean, you can lower them too so they're not completely sticking straight out, or you can also adjust them really to your heart's content. If you want to even get interesting enough, you could bring these up as well, and it gives him a slightly different kind of profile at the back there. A little back area section there. So sometimes I might display him like that as well, but I like that these are at least on hinges, that you have adjustability at your disposal. Then you can go ahead, and one of the other things that Shinobi comes with, he comes with these little side missile launching armor plates. And again, to those, very difficult to get in. I've already kind of gone ahead and I've wiggled them off the thigh portion. You just want to pop it off, and this has like a little notch there and a notch there. So there's a lot more holding these in place, and then you can go ahead and just adjust these, or I should say replace it back with the corresponding piece. And I always generally, this is the one that I always get the wrong one in place. But you can just peg these in, peg them in, and they're slightly difficult, I have to admit. They're slightly on the more difficult side because there's really not much catching when you're trying to get them into place. Let's actually try it on the other leg again. I always get it on the wrong side here. We'll adjust it and make sure we got the right one here. Just into place. That pegs in. But as you can see, it doesn't it doesn't really grab onto it very well. Especially this one leg. This one leg I find does not catch properly. Essentially what you want to get is something that looks like this. I kind of think it's a little on the silly side, to be honest. But mileage may vary. You might enjoy the fact that he's got these missiles shooting out of his leg. But of the things, of the little add-on components, these are always the things that I leave off altogether. I just think that they're a little... Oh, and there's some missile casings in there as well. They're cool enough, but I wish that they had actually had some clearance. Like if these had come out and maybe even rotated like this, like if there was one peg in there or something that you just pegged it in and this could rotate, I think that would be a little bit better than just simply clipping these into place. So a lot of times, once again, I don't put those in there. I'll just leave them off altogether. We'll just snap these back into place. There we go. The other accessories that come included with Iron Man, well, he comes with, let's go through these as well. He comes with two little feet thrusters. There's a little peg hole on the underside of his feet, and then these just wiggle into place to give you some added thruster power. Now this is where you want to incorporate the display stand that we just had a look at and adjust it fully so you can get at least him displayed with it. It looks okay, but he doesn't really have as much clearance. It's not the likes of a Hot Toys, for example, where you have the adjustable, waist clip that has that bending spine, where you could actually have him in a really cool flight pose. The Players Kai figures just don't have a stand like that. So I don't, again, display them with it, but just to show you what they look like. They start relatively more at a pink and purple and transition to more in a orange and then a lighter cream color before they peg into the heel portion of his feet. The other thing that he does come include with is, as you currently probably see as well, he's got a pair of closed fists. He's got a pair of open hands that feature repulsor, visible, I should say, repulsor blasters. And then if you want some extra firepower, Playarts Kai also give you, we'll just wiggle these off, snap these into place. He comes with also a pair of hands that have the actual repulsor blasts visible, as you can see right there. And you want to just adjust this so you can bring the hand up. There we go. He actually comes with two of those. A super cool looking added piece to add to your Iron Man. Kind of almost looks like a funnel or like a little ice display. I love the coloring on this as well because it's slightly translucent. It's almost more opaque than is translucent. It's got the orange tips to it and it gets off to a point there at the top. Super cool. I might maybe perhaps display him in one, but it's entirely up to you how you want to display him. And again, these just pop right off, just like that. I must say, like, of the more, he's not recent. He's not one of the more recent Playarts Kai figures, but one of the variants, he's one of my personal favorites. I like the coloring. For the most part, he's pretty good. And we'll talk about one glaring thing that I don't care for on this guy, but it's something that I guess they couldn't really work around. But he does have good elements to him as well. I love the little flaps. I think that's a nice touch as well. It's something I always keep on Shinobi is these additional flaps. Now let's talk about the one thing I'm not crazy about with this figure. It's this section right here. If you've owned Playarts Kai figures, you generally know that there's one section on the figure that usually is concealing articulation on the figure. It's usually in the torso, or it's in the upper torso, or in the waist portion of the figure. And it sits really loose. It just kind of flops around. More so in the back. His behind is a little on the loose side. Just kind of flops around on you. I get the fact that it's there to hide the articulation, because if you were to lift it up, you would see big glaring sockets where the legs are plugged into place. I see that. I wish it wasn't as loose as it is. Speaking of his posability, Iron Man's head is on a good ball joint on the upper torso or upper neck area of where his head's attached. But then he's got that secondary joint that attaches the neck portion right into the torso. He has the adjustable torso as well, which doesn't have as much movement and motion as perhaps the Spider-Man that we had to look at. And then he's got a secondary ball joint that attaches kind of like the mid-torso to his waist. The arms move very nice on a ratcheted joint outward. You've got the forward and back motion, not limited at all. Nice ratcheted joint on the arm. He has the rotation and hinge on those hands. Then as for the legs, the Spider-Man, I critiqued that the articulation didn't seem as good because this section here held back so much of the leg from motion and movement. Iron Man doesn't seem to have that problem. He does also have the double hinge knees. And he's also got the ratcheted feet. And I thought he actually had the foot curl, but he doesn't have the foot curl on this. Slight ankle pivot. He seems to stand a lot better than the aforementioned Spider-Man. Spider-Man stood a little awkward, and I think the problem was that his ankle seemed like it was on a slight tilt, and sometimes I don't want to force that too much for fear that that could potentially break. All around, a great solid figure. I like the coloring. I like the construction of him. I like the little components that they add to him. The only thing I really don't like is these little side missiles. I think they could have just done without those, or if anything, added one peg and then just allowed you the option to rotate it. That's just my personal opinion. These are available in comic book stores. I'm not sure if you would be able to find this particular Iron Man so easily, as him and Spider-Man are a little bit older. But if you can find this guy and you're a fan of Iron Man, I definitely would say pick him up. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Marvel Universe. This was the variant Play Arts Kai of Iron Man, codename Shinobi. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.